Good morning, America. This is Dr. Turi. One more time, thank you for listening to this new broadcast. And as always, here you go, Dr. Turi. It's the first cosmic cop teaching humanity to respect the cosmic code laws. All right, so this is going to be interesting. I'm sorry about that. This is another opportunity for you, my good friend, to check on my UFO predictive legacy. I'm giving you another window, okay? This one is for July the 9th. We are still under this deadly window. And again, in the newsletter associated with this broadcast, you do have the link. So if you click on the link or watch the video, how can you not realize the values involving my predictive legacy imparted by many, many UFOs experiences? There is a saying out there that Travis Walton was a hoax. Whatever, people talk. As far as I can tell you, my UFOs experience are very real. And I'm very happy to announce to you that my webmaster is starting the project. Finally, he was very busy starting the project of upgrading that video, since it's not on Amazon Prime anymore. Yet you have the link to click in it in order for this video to be back to the public and educators, curious truth seekers of what's really going on with various groups of extraterrestrials that are coursing humanity and handling and abusing your chart or your stars. So if you're a supporter of mine, even if you did it before, just go back there, click on the link and say, hey, can we have Alien Contact is back on Amazon Prime because we trust Dr. Turi, we like Dr. Turi, or whatever. Some of you really hate me, but these are the young souls that are working for the dark forces, reptiles, infected, envious young soul who have not much to offer to humanity. But this is how it is. You cannot have a day without a night, a good without a bad, the front without a back, up and down, black and white. So you have the human and the superhuman and the subhumans, those who are really, really infected. Those who give me the thumb down. Luckily, it's just a minority. Just have to mention that so you can understand what I'm talking about. So this is a different type of window. Again, I don't predict anything when you look at it. I'm just, as an astrophile, like Nostradamus used to do 500 years ago, I'm using quatrains. And I'm also adding obvious keywords because I don't have to worry about the French Inquisition to hang me. So I add those keywords to make it easily for you to assimilate the type of news that's ahead of us. As far as the last Plutonic windows, my God, I don't want to go through all that, but click on it and reevaluate the drama, the death, the dramatic news involving the police. And I'm glad, they managed to stop a bunch of guys. And many of them went to jail. I don't know, 10 or 11 of these guys. They were about to do something bad. Luckily for us, the cops stopped them. So that was good for us. These windows are enough as taking the life of NHL goaltender Matis Kivlenieks. He was only 24 years old. Remember, my good friend, the reptilians are not only after the Secret Service, they are not only after government officials, but also kids, teens, and children. And he was taken by the reptilians, sad enough. He is a Virgo. He was a Virgo, and this sign is prone to violent death, headaches, things of this nature. So especially during one of my negative Plutonic window, he could not survive it. On top of that, he was born with the tail of the dragon, which is negative, into the sign of Aries. Aries was your head, the baby of the zodiac. Okay, Pisces, Dr. Turi, your feet, the grandfather of the zodiac. Aries, the start, Pisces, where the body resides, the end. So basically, you can click on those links, read the story, sad story. I think he was in a hot tub, and I'm in a hot tub myself all the time. I'm being very cautious to get out, but I don't have the tail of the dragon in Aries. I have the head. That's why I had a broken nose, broken teeth, broken elbow, broken hands twice, broken this, broken that. I'm an Aries head, so I'm protected against violent death. He was an Aries tail, like Michael Jackson when his head went on fire during a Coca-Cola advertisement. So there are no accidents for what happened to you. So pay attention. Pay attention. You have a link. Be smart. Knowledge is power. Ignorance is evil. Find out where your natal dragon is located. There is more power, in fact, in the location of your natal or hidden dragon than the entire complexity of your chart. Put your hand on my book, The Power of the Dragon. Find out what's your dragon, what's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sisters, your husband, your boyfriend, whomever, a dragon's head and tail, and see why people do what they do or what they did. I just can't understand sometimes how people can be so uncurious and expect to live a safe life when the option, the opportunity is given to them to do so. But again, it's only when the student is ready that the real teacher will appear. And then, sad enough, humanity is not exactly ready for me. So this window is all about the beginning or the end of important phases of life. And it affected me too. I mean, look, see what you see on my table over there? I just cut it up today. Okay, could have left it 2 or 3 more days, but I cut it off. So that's the end result. It's the ending of life of those beautiful fruits, which I'm going to enjoy by the lake on my boat or whatever I'm going to do out there. So all I'm trying to tell you, be ready for the beginning or the end of an important phases of your life. Remember, I think it was in 2020, something like this. I won, my good friend, David Icke, was not allowed to fly to Australia because of the ridiculous conspiracy that he promotes, such as, Sandy Hook did not happen. The Holocaust didn't happen, so they knock him out. So it was the end of important phases of life, not only for him, because he cannot go there anymore and poison people's mind, but a lot of people who were indoctrinated by him because he's form of a guru, they also had no access to him anymore live. So, with technology nowadays, he can still pass on his genius and his teaching to the rest of the world. I got nothing against David, apart from that I know where he is with his stars. So be ready. It could be you starting a new job. It could be you losing a job. It could be you taking a trip somewhere, signing a contract, getting married, getting divorced. And sad reality, it means also people ending their lives, as in the case of Matisse, this young 24-year-old guy who fell out of his hot tub and broke his head, cracked his head on the concrete and dies. Yesterday, last night, I went on top of my house to look at the firework, and I had a long ladder to go all the way up. So I'm fully aware of the stars. So I was very, very careful on how I put my step all the way up to the roof and coming back. Because if I fall from the top of my house on my head, I'll be dead. Hopefully I fall in my pool. So here we are. So remember, the beginning or ending of important phases of life. That's the key words. It's a Moonic window. Okay, and the moon represents home, family, children, food, perfect timing for the 4th of July, which took place, of course, during one of my negative windows. And that's why Turi and I, we stay safe at home. While Saturday night, a mother and the 2 kids were killed on the highway and people drowned in the lakes. I mean, during those windows, life doesn't stop. You just have to be a little bit more cautious. And that's the purpose of you becoming a VIP. So if you have a trip to take someplace, a contract to sign, or something different to do, well, being a VIP, we tell you the passage of the moon through the belt of the zodiac all throughout the year, and most of all, every single lunation. And one of those lunations happen on your sun sign. You better be careful, or on your head, on your tail of the dragon. You'll be warned through our work, our various forecast on the cosmic codes. So just join and be prepared, and just respect the laws. Remember, God never came down and wrote no books. Okay, he created the stars and the heavens to be used as signs so that you may lead a safer, more productive life. And believe me, long time ago in the Dead Sea Scrolls, okay, that's the oldest relics they could find about religion. The Dead Sea Scrolls, you want to see them, believe me. Some of those Dead Sea Scrolls are loaded with astrological relics and, of course, UFOs. But you know what? During those days, the clergy who had the time, the money, the organization, the pen and the paper wrote everything down the best way they could, okay? And then the Bible came hundred of years later and promoted and edited by the politically oriented churches who didn't want to give you the keys to what it means to be human and understand Jesus' cosmic ministry or God's cosmic design. Instead, they give you the 10 Commandments. And then it's idiot, really, any stupid idiot can digest the 10 Commandments. In order to really understand your UCI or your unique celestial identity, then you have to land on somebody like me who knows what he's doing. And not only this, who was born with the right stars. Pretty much like Jesus. Jesus was born in a very specific time of the year, okay? He was born with a tremendous amount of stars in the sign of Sagittarius. That was the codification of that teaching. So the extraterrestrials knew about this supreme stellium taking place in the Middle East, and here goes Jesus. It popped out of the Virgin Mary, but she never had any sex. That's called artificial insemination. And Jesus started the age of Pisces 2,000 years ago. So this to give you an idea that there is a hell of a lot of information about religion and astrology that will never come to you unless you ask for it. Just Google again, Dr. Turi, Pope Francis, and read and watch the pictures of all the popes being taught astrology by the Vatican Council. Pictures of the dragon and all the signs all over the Vatican that tells you what's in the 75 miles of secret library Mr. Pope don't want you to know. It's too late. You know, it's like a cancer. It's too advanced into the world to retract this now. So plus there is money, there is greed, there is all sorts of manipulation. The Illuminati who don't want to give you knowledge because knowledge is power. But all right, also Dr. Turi, I am here to guide you, to help you, and to understand that you are a little bit more than bone, flesh, and nerves, okay? You're a human being living an experience on this dense physical world. And the more you know about your stars, the more your happiness and fulfillment is assured. And that's what I can promise you. All right, so, you know, some of my readers, of course, are very, very sensitive and they really get fed up or even depressed with the endless chains of negative news I share during all my SOS to the World Deadly Windows. But I cannot be blamed for an oblivious world and its inability to assimilate, to even accept the harsh reality that there are negative extraterrestrials that are cursing humanity and cursing your stars. So the majority of you, sad enough, those who have been raised religiously or those who are atheists are going to do the ostrich job. You know, they're going to stick their head in the sand. They won't investigate because of the fear or the idiocy, depending on the advance of their spirits. They're going to negate everything I said, and they're going to give me the thumb down. And those are the one who needs me the most. Okay, Again, you know, my movie Alien Contactee is designed to actually offer those critical answers to all the truth seekers out there about UFOs and about the divine and astrology, including the purpose and the agenda of various groups of extraterrestrials. But the force of evil is much more active than all my supporters, and they've been blocking all my attempts to share such deep mystical truth, my good friends. Again, the fact is, if you look at the constant horrific news taking place on a daily basis on planet Earth, it shows that the human psyche is depleting really, really fast. And that leads, of course, to an endless chain of suicides, all sorts of nasty news that I would rather not talk about. Okay, and in the process, many lost souls have given up, and then they're depressed and they seek refuges in drugs and alcohol, or even religions for that matter. And doing so, they are only fulfilling the reptilian agenda, because those entities can only survive in dark matter with fear, negativity, and chaos. So that's why it's important to battle and to win over those entities by using the same psychical force. Be positive. But it's easy for me to say, but it's probably the hardest things to do, knowing what's going on around you. Okay. And I cannot be blamed for going where you are, in the dirt, in the dark, in fear, in ignorance, in stupidity, and then trying to raise you above. That's all I'm trying to do. That's where understand mean. You need to stand above in your stars, okay? So you can at the same time see how you stand under your stars. So by understanding my work, you're going to get more control over your destiny and control over those nasty entities who constantly need you to be insecure, jealous, negative, and feed the dark force of evil. You don't have to sign up for that, my good friend. Now, if you got your 2021 Nostradamus Dragon forecast, I told you it was going to be 2021 and 22 years of winds and fire. And then if you see what happened in Cyprus, they left a lot of dead. If you see what happened in Australia with the fire that I predicted when I was on Coast to Coast in October 2019, you could see that the energy are not exactly really positive. And then I don't know how many of you have watched the news, but there was like a fire in the ocean, in the Gulf of Mexico somewhere. There is water, but there is a fire. So what is the message here? Message is you better be cautious of the fire. Fire means danger, aggressivity, political disputes. God knows the nastiness that's going on there, or the legacy of President Trump's stars. Again, I got nothing against President Trump. It's his stars. If you were somebody important, I'll do your stars. But if you like me or nobody, what's the point of me doing your stars? Okay, so leave me alone. I'm not into politics. I'm doing the stars of famous people, people from all walks of life. So if you reach a certain amount of fame, believe me, I'm going to go after your bat and explain and expose your stars for what they are. So sad enough, the legacy of electing a president who had very negative stars involving foreigners and foreign land and foreign affairs, which also led to COVID-19. That's because we have elected a president to have the stars. For that, we're going to suffer the price. And some people are going to say, oh, well, what about Biden? Well, Biden is a Scorpio. Another word, he was kind of a paying holiday when Trump was here. And that's why I constantly refresh your memory with the dance of evil. Scorpio is a sign of life and death, drama. Scorpio rules the police force, the mafia, the KGB, the criminal element, the police. Scorpio rules Russia, North Korea. Hey, it's not a joke. Your president was born with the tail of the dragon in Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius was technology, cyber attacks, anything to do with nukes. Hello, I can only tell you what the stars said. So if you think I beat the hell out of Trump, no, I also beat the hell out of Biden because it's his stars. And I cannot tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what it is. If you can handle it, just go to TikTok and don't bug me with your political, passionate nature. If you're a Scorpio who have a strong Scorpio in your chart, you're going to sign up for quantum. You're going to sign up for conspiracy. You're going to sign up for all this junk out there because you are completely and entirely oblivious. You do not know that you regenerate with investigations. That's all. That's why you are signing up for all this conspiracy stuff. But you're not cosmic conscious. You do not know. You're like a robot being totally victimized by a set of stars, which is manipulated by the reptilians. So I'm a little bit ahead of you, and trying to reach you can be very, very sometimes impossible for some people that are too much into this physical shell, put it this way. So pretty much like that building that fell in Florida, that's the state of Mr. Trump. And that is just an omen of all the nasty things that was going to happen to President Trump's business, to his family, to the Trump Towers. Everything is going to crash down. Okay. The first one was an accident. The second one was in purpose. That's what's going to happen with President Trump. Everybody that has directly or indirectly participated, you know my story, okay, on the US Capitol invasion, will have to pay karma. It's as simple as that. It's not me. I don't care what you do or not. It's your deal, it's your business, it's your life. But I'm just here to guide you as a true prophet, as somebody which is gifted, you like it or not, you accept it or not. That's what it is. My last window of July the 4th, I said, be ready for earthquakes at or above 6.0. And on the 4th of July, we had a 6.0. Hello, don't you think it's time to wake up and accept the reality of what I represent? And instead of bashing me, maybe you should endorse me? All right, now another thing. Since it's the beginning or ending of important phases of life, and I want you to pay attention, okay, to what's going to happen to you in the next few days. Okay, make sure to return so you can actually see what I'm going to collect for you that will prove my claim. Okay, and it's not an ego trip, believe me. I'm that close to get completely retired, go to Florida and enjoy my yacht over there, my boats, and become a boat captain. Okay, believe me, I'm still working pretty much for free for you. So you should appreciate that. And all these suckers who give me the thumb down, what did they give the world lately? They are droppings. That's why you're dealing with the forces of light and the forces of darkness. I understand it. I'm sure you're smart enough to understand it too. So here we are. So, you know, there is a tremendous amount of reality show nowadays. And every one of these shows, some are very educational, which I enjoy drastically. Okay. And some of them are just all trash. It's all about jealousy. It's all about stupidity. It's all about young kids being emotional. It's all about God knows what. That makes money because the lazy subhuman does not want to work. He does not want to upgrade his psychical vibration. He just wants to be entertained. Okay, so sports, movie, religions, God knows what. Imagine if you were to invest in me in a reality show that will every single week prove me right in terms of my predictions or in terms of my cosmic teachings. Remember, I am into the future. I can guarantee you that if you were a sponsor of that reality show, Not only you get sure financial security for you and the rest of your family forever, but also immortality. Because this world is in such desperate need for spiritual food, and all they get is junk. It's like feeding the world constantly with hamburger and Coca-Cola. So if you have the know-how, or if you have some money to invest and you want to do good for humanity, so you don't have to come back on this dense physical world, burn more karma, think of how much you could do for the children of the future in helping me to reach a stage that will help you and the rest of the world to actually beat those extraterrestrials, negativities that can only survive with negativity, confusion, and chaos. So read this newsletter. You also have my email address. So if you have the know-how, or if you have the money and you want to be part of something that will be probably the top reality show ever, it's with me, Dr. Turi. I know exactly what should be in the studio, how to set it up, how the guests, every sign of the zodiac, facing each other's opposite side, make it a show that will knock people out of their socks. Something that is so educational. The problem is we will have to beat the reptilians, the envious, the jealous, the religious fanatics, or the atheists who are not ready to digest and appreciate the new age of Aquarius. So I'm a starter of a new age of awareness. I am not comparing myself to Jesus from that, far from that. But I have the stars like Jesus did to start a new age of cosmic awareness. All right, my good friend, I want to thank you for your trust in my work. I want to trust you for listening to me. I want to thank you also for sharing my work, and I'm asking you to be prepared. Thousands of people may be forced to relocate because of a natural disaster. Could be earthquake, could be a tsunami, could be a volcanic eruption, could be a tornado, could be a hurricane. I have no idea. Remember, I give you dates well ahead of time of hurricane before their formation in the oceans. But in order for you to realize I'm real, you have to start to make some notes. You have to start to pay attention. And that only a superman can do. And that's many, many of you. If I look at the numbers of the people that are joining my YouTube channel, it's crazy. Soon I will give you the great news of this new movie that will be put on Amazon. Everybody will have access to it on UFOs. And we will advertise it heavily. And hopefully you help me so I can move forward in helping the new age, or I might just call it quit and then go to Florida and enjoy my new life as a boat captain. Pretty much up to you now, because at 71 years old, I had it. Trying to educate morons. And those who cannot handle the truth I represent. All right, my good friend, God bless all of you. Be cautious. It's the beginning or ending of important phases of life. Meantime, this deadly window setting up is still in action. So we are on what you call a void of course windows. Okay, we're gonna do the same like I always do. There you go. There you go. Are you ready? There you go. The moon. Incidentally, this is a Moonic window, which means the beginning or the end of important phases of life. It might affect your home, your family, your security. The moon represents the base of your operation. And of course, every one of us has a black moon, which is a curse into a very specific sign. Of course, the black moon changes sign always like any other sign. So you better know where your black moon is, and let me help you to get rid of it. It's pretty much like a bad headache or being constipated, getting you the pill so you can be happy ever after. All right, my good friend, God bless all of you. And then we keep in touch. Go now and then to this newsletter, check all the news that I'm going to put for you and share my cosmic wisdom. Until then, God bless all of you, my good friend. Bye-bye.